Hello everyone, my name is David. Today we're going to take a look at another horrible case with you. In a 20-day span, the death of 5 people in the same house is not a normal occurrence. However, from September 26th to October 15th, 2023, in these 20 days, something like this happened in the Gadchiroli district of Maharashtra, India. In reality, in Mahagaon, a village in Gadchiroli, lived the Kumbhare family. Normally, 6 people lived in the house, the head of the family, Shankar Kumbhare, his wife Vijaya Kumbhare, their married daughter Komal, the eldest son Sagar, the younger son Roshan, and his wife Sangamitra Kumbhare. The Kumbhare family was a respected one in their village. Although the youngest son Roshan had run away from home to get married, later, his parents, Shankar and Vijaya Kumbhare, accepted his marriage. This means that everything was going well in the house. However, last year, on September 19th, 2023, when the entire Kumbhara family went to sleep after finishing dinner, suddenly Shankar Kumbhar and his wife Vijaya started experiencing intense pain throughout their bodies and heads. Although at that time, both of them considered it as a minor pain due to age and thought sleeping after taking some household medicine would relieve it. When the pain persisted the next day, they summoned a doctor to examine them at home. After that, the doctor identified symptoms of food poisoning in both of them. In addition, by then, the pain from the head had spread to the lower part of the back and a burning sensation was felt throughout the body. Therefore, observing the condition of the other family members, they initially took them to a local hospital. However, when the doctors there could not figure out the issue, they shifted both to a hospital in Chandrapur. The treatment for Shankar and Vijay Kumbhare continued there for a while, but when even the doctors in Chandrapur were unable to diagnose the problem, they finally referred them to a renowned hospital in Nagpur. Despite receiving medication and other treatments on time, there was no improvement in the health of both. Due to the gradual increase in pain, Shankar Kumbhare left this world on the 26th. Now, awaiting the final rites, the family in Delhi, working son Sagar, learns the shocking news that on the very next day, the 27th, Vijay Kumbhare also passed away. The family atmosphere changes completely as one after another, both senior members of the family departed, leaving the family behind. Doctors couldn't understand how their deaths occurred. Food poisoning cases were also ignored shortly after, as medications for recovering from food poisoning were proving ineffective. After completing the final rituals and all other ceremonies, Shankar Kumbhare's elder son Sagar fell ill after arriving in Delhi. He began experiencing the same symptoms that his parents had shown. Initially, Sagar had pain in his head, and then it started in his back as well, after which he had to admit himself to a hospital in Delhi. Alongside this, the health of other members of the family also started deteriorating. Among them, Shankar and Vijay's married daughter Komal, Komal's younger brother Roshan, Vijay Kumbhare's sister Ananda, also known as Varsha Urad, the family's driver Rakesh Madhavi, and a relative who had come to Chandrapur and Nagpur hospitals to inquire about Shankar and Vijay's health, also fell ill. All of them experienced similar symptoms, that is, initially severe headache followed by a gradual spread throughout the body. As a result, everyone had to be admitted to different hospitals. The hospitals kept changing, but the series of deaths did not stop. After the death of the parents on October 8th, the married daughter Komal passed away. Just 6 days later, on the 14th, Vijay Kumbhar's sister Varsha also sacrificed her life. And then on the very next day, on October 15th, Roshan Kumbhar also took his own life in the hospital. So far, one death after another in the family had shocked the villagers. Along with that, it had also compelled the doctors to ponder on what could be the reason behind all these deaths. On the other side, this rumor had spread throughout the entire village that some bad omen had befallen the Potter's family, or someone had cast a spell. As a result, many people in the village changed their usual routes to avoid coming near the lane where the Potter's family lived. During this time, another man in the village began exhibiting the same symptoms, and he was none other than Vijay Kumbhar's younger brother. Now, this incident was something that had completely changed the atmosphere of the entire village. Because of this, the Gachiroli police also took notice of this incident, and thereafter, the police decided to dispel the baseless rumors of black magic. Following this, they resolved to uncover the real reason behind all 5 deaths. Consequently, the investigation of this case was personally handled by the superintendent of Gachiroli Police, Nalotpal. After this, the superintendent learns from all the doctors that the lips of all the 5 people from this family who have died so far were gradually turning black. Hearing this, the police found it very strange. After that, they checked each post-mortem report one by one. In the post-mortem reports of individuals of different ages, the cause of death was the same, either a heart attack or multiple organ failure. Now, one thing was bothering the police a lot here. Since the ages of all the deceased were different, how could all of them have a heart attack? Or how could the young son and daughter of the house suffer from multiple organ failure within a gap of just 20 days? After this, they decided to investigate by systematically connecting each thread of the case, but the police were not able to understand where to start the investigation. 4 people in the house have already died, and now the 5th victim is Vijaya Kumbhare's sister. In the family, now only the elder son Sagar and the younger son Roshan's widowed wife Sanghamitra were left. Now, because the elder son was struggling with life and death in Delhi, the police first went to interrogate Sanghamitra. The question on the police's mind was how to talk to Sanghamitra about all these deaths, as on one hand, there is no one left in her home, and on the other hand, her husband has also died. Nevertheless, the police had to fulfill their duty. So, when the police arrived to investigate, Sanghamitra's behavior was completely normal. It didn't seem at all that one after another, 5 deaths had occurred in her home, and even her husband, with whom she had a love marriage, was no more. Now, Superintendent Nilotpal, upon seeing the situation at home, had another thought in his mind. He suggested that for once, let's consider the possibility that there was some bad omen or black magic involved in this house. But how could it be that its impact was not only on Sanghamitra, although Sanghamitra alone could provide the answer, but the police couldn't talk to her directly and firmly, because at that time, the situation of the case was very weak. After that, the police formed 4 teams to investigate the case thoroughly. After examining some things, the police's suspicion pointed towards Sanghamitra, the daughter-in-law of the house. Now, when the police questioned Sanghamitra sternly, she narrated a horrifying story that, after hearing, no one was ready to believe in it. In reality, the story was such that 22-year-old Sanghamitra was studying at an agricultural university when she met Roshan Kumbhare. After spending a considerable amount of time together, they decided to get married. However, initially, both families were not in favor of this marriage. But then, after a while, Roshan convinced his family for this marriage. However, Sanghamitra's father was very traditional and affiliated with prestigious schools, so he still did not accept this marriage. But here, Sanghamitra took a bold step against her parents and decided to go ahead with the marriage with Roshan in December 2022. However, Sanghamitra's family never accepted this marriage. Following this, Sanghamitra's father, considering what society would think about his daughter and what respect she has left in society, took his own life in April 2023. It is only then that Sanghamitra realizes for the first time that running away from home and marrying may have been a wrong decision. On the other hand, adjusting to a new home after leaving one's own can be somewhat challenging after marriage, but Sanghamitra could not adjust in her in-laws' family. Due to this, conflicts arose, sometimes with her in-laws and sometimes with her husband over trivial matters. Sanghamitra even mentioned that occasional fights also occurred with her husband. This was the point when the thought crossed Sanghamitra's mind. The ones for whom I left my home and family, the ones because of whom my father committed suicide, are not treating me well. Why not end all of this as well? That's when my father's soul will find peace. After some time, Sanghamitra's encounter is with her mother-in-law's brother's wife for the first time, meaning her aunt-in-law, whose name is Rosa Ramteke. Now, when Rosa meets Sanghamitra, there is a dispute regarding the property of this joint family. The scene was such that Sanghamitra's husband and his 4 sisters, that is, Sanghamitra's mother-in-law Vijaya and her sisters, had 4 acres of agricultural land, and Rosa wanted the entire land to come under her control. Afterward, the 2 of them planned why not eliminate all these family members. This way, Sanghamitra would also find peace, and Rosa would also get control of her land. Rosa wanted to kill nearly 16 people. After that, they both start looking for a way to kill them all in such a way that their path is clear and no one suspects them. And here, Sanghamitra's degree in agriculture comes in handy. He immediately recalls a chemical element used to kill rodenticides and insecticides. That is, medicines used to eliminate rodents damaging crops, porcupines, or some poisonous insects. Well, I can't reveal the name of that chemical element because it can be quite dangerous for humans too, and someone misusing it can cause harm, because it is a chemical element that has neither color, nor taste, nor smell. Now, to obtain that chemical, Rosa contacted someone in the nearby state of Telangana and then went there herself to get the chemical. After that, she handed over the chemical concoction. Then, gradually, Sanghami